Now let's return to Markus and Wendy Ford for more on the city's use of tax incentives to remain competitive in attracting and keeping businesses here in Iowa City.
Recognizing the environment here in the Iowa City metropolitan area where it's pretty competitive, and to me, being from outside the state, I recognize that this state is pretty aggressive in terms of incentivizing businesses to locate here. In your professional opinion, do you think that the city could sit on the sidelines and not consider or use tax incentives? And what do you think the consequences of not using them might be for a city like Iowa City?
That's a great question, and I do think that the entire environment has become more competitive for a number of reasons, but also, and perhaps mostly because communities across Iowa now are using tax increment financing in particular to lure business to their communities. There are all kinds of payoffs for having new business or new taxable valuation in your community, and businesses or communities are using this tool, and it is about the one tool that can have a significant impact or attraction for an investment in your community. So if you're not on that playing field and you're not able to assist financially in a project that could in the long run provide this great benefit in the end, then there's no chance you'll begin to see that. We're competing with the bottom line of businesses' financial projections and outlooks. While we have one of the best, if not arguably the best quality of life in Iowa City, and we'd like to hang our hats on that, that doesn't equate to the bottom line of a business. And we have to be able to compete in the dollars and cents columns of their evaluation of whether to invest in Iowa City or not.
So we've been talking about incentives through grants and loans and tax increment financing. Do we provide any tax relief? That I know there's other programs for tax relief. Maybe you can talk about that. It's not quite as common here in how we've used it so far, but why don't you talk about that as well?
Sure. We have a couple of areas that are really either the central downtown area or just south of the central downtown area, our near Southside Commercial District, in which when a business would come to us and apply for partial commercial property tax relief, they would perhaps propose an improvement to, say, a facade of a building, or maybe wanting to be able to add an elevator, something that would add taxable value to their property. The city can assist in a way that would relieve them from a declining amount of their property tax bill over the 5 coming years. So we could, while they improve their property, we could ease them into the higher property tax bill that they will be having, while providing them some relief on that as well at the same time.
Great. Well, thanks for sharing what economic development means and what it's doing here in Iowa City, and thanks, Wendy, for your efforts to keep us competitive not only locally but across the state and probably across the Midwest as well, as business takes a real serious look at Iowa City for developing their businesses, both existing and in terms of expansion, and brand new businesses. So thanks for all your work.
Thanks. It's a fun job.
Great.
You can watch Tom and Wendy's full interview online at citychannel4.com/video, including their discussion of gap financing, the changes to Iowa's TIF regulations, and the Towncrest redevelopment project. In our final segment, we'll take a look at a 5K run recently held at City Park.